in this session. Mary Jerikaranu is going to present at the African Journal of Food Agriculture, Nutrition and Development. And this is an open access scientific peer-reviewed scholarly journal that has a global reach and is published in Kenya since 2001. Mary is the assistant editor of this journal, and she has a bachelor in genetics and biotechnology from Brigham Young University, US, and a master's in business administration as well from the US. One thing that I would like to highlight from this journal is that recently I was discovered that there is a professor at the Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology in Kenya, who is Professor Abukutsa Mary Onyango, that actually she could enhance her career in nutrition and in the area where actually she's specialized on, thanks to the open access journals, and has been recently one of her papers has been recently published in Nature. Mary, I suppose that's going to highlight this extremely positive fact that open access publishing can help people, scientists and researchers from developing countries to make career beyond the borders at national level and to make career in a more global perspective. So thanks a lot, Mary, for being here today with us. Go ahead. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ima, for that wonderful introduction. Just let me know when my voice levels go down. If you cannot hear me, you can write to me in the chat box, and I'll be aware of it. So, as Ima has mentioned, I'm the assistant editor at AJFAND, African Journal of Food, Agriculture, Nutrition and Development. We are based in Nairobi, and so I bring greetings from Nairobi and the secretariat here in Nairobi. I hope you're having a good day wherever you are. So to begin, I'll start with a background of AJFAND. So the journal is open access, scientific, peer-reviewed, and scholarly. It has been published in Kenya since 2009. It was launched as the African Journal of Food and Nutritional Sciences under the Rural Outreach Program by Honorable Professor Ruth Onyango, who is the CEO and Editor-in-Chief. But it became evident that nutrition had a much wider scope. It's closely linked to agriculture, environment, and human development. And so recognition of these close linkages, the name of the journal was changed to African Journal of Food, Agriculture, Nutrition, and Development. And this was able to accommodate the interests of other authors who were previously excluded. The journal has been published by African Scholarly Science Communications Trust since 2009, and the trust just replaced Rural Outreach, the NGO, as the publisher. From 2001, issues of the journal were both in conventional print and online through AJFNS.net, but then since November 2003, the journal moved completely online and has been published through the website AJFAND.net. Our manuscripts are published in PDF format. We subscribe to Gold Open Access, and we have a Creative Commons license, attribution, non-commercial, and now derivatives. That means that anyone is free to share and redistribute the information as long as they properly cite the original source and author of the work, and it cannot be used for commercial purposes, and the work cannot be changed in any way. The vision of AJFAND is to have a world where information on food, agriculture, nutrition, and development is contributed and shared honestly, respectfully, equally, and impartially, and also giving global visibility to African scholars and issues. The key guiding principle is that no culture has a monopoly of knowledge, and our mission is to inform policy and decision making in the fields of food, agriculture, nutrition, and development, the application of emerging technologies for innovative intervention, and their regulation through related research. Some of the goals and objectives of AJFAND is to provide a platform where information on food and nutrition and other issues concerning Africa can be effectively disseminated and addressed, and also to provide a capacity building facility in scholarly publishing in Africa. The journal covers like I've said, food, agriculture, nutrition, and development. And these are some of the topics that we cover. So, role of indigenous foods in food and nutrition security of Africa. We have food safety related practices like preparation, processing, preservation, and storage, nutritional analysis and how it affects human health, modern technology such as genomics, biotechnology, tissue culture, and the role it plays in food securing Africa. Smallholder farming systems, women in agriculture, climate smart agriculture, and youth in agriculture. The journal also carries short communications, reviews, and book reviews, and also provides a platform where information can be shared on a national and international level on food and nutrition programs. Our target audience, our primary target audience at AJFAND are scientists, researchers, academics, policymakers, students, the non-governmental populace, and the media. The journal is open to African and non-African contributors, so manuscripts from outside of Africa, but with interest to Africa and Africa's development, they are given consideration. AJFAND activities are divided into 5 program areas, and I'll just go through them quickly here. We have education and research. Through publishing, the journal is able to create a platform where information is shared and can be accessed freely, and to serve also people in research and academia. We have library activities where the goal of the journal is to create and preserve an up-to-date online digital information, an online digital library that will serve people in academia and research institutions. We have some libraries from universities that carry AJFAND articles, and you can access articles through the African Union Library through their intranet. The University of Botswana and University of Zimbabwe also through their intranet, and Cornell University Albert R. Mann Library. We have health and nutrition activities where we share information on food safety, food security, food trade, healthier eating, and childhood nutrition, and we try to include and bring in the relevant actors, that's researchers, practitioners, and policymakers in this field, to communicate, to network, and to share information in these fields. Publishing support and mentoring. The journal is an excellent facility for mentoring young academicians, young scientists, and through the journal, Professor Onyango, our editor-in-chief, is able to take young scientists, people who have graduated from Kenyan universities, give them internships at the journal where they start reviewing. Also, they can learn how to write, improve their writing and analytical skills. And also through the interactive process of peer review, technical review with our authors, they are able to develop their writing skills, they are able to develop their scientific skills, and And also we support the work of editors and other communication professionals by participating and holding seminars in publishing. We have rural development and agriculture. The lack of basic information perpetuates poverty, and poor people need better connections to schools, healthcare, markets, and essential services, essential infrastructure. And so by sharing information on development, rural development, we are able to bring in the actors, people who are rural development practitioners, so that they can see how they can develop our rural infrastructure and rural agriculture. All right, here I have a slide. I hope you're up to date with my slide with the AJFAND workflows. And this is how we handle manuscripts, so from receipt to publication. And so I'll just go through the different steps. So manuscripts are received and acknowledged electronically. We ask our authors to send their manuscripts as a Word document. And once we receive a manuscript, we acknowledge it. Then the manuscript is subjected to an internal checklist at the secretariat level. And here, at the secretariat, we check for things like the title. The title needs to fit within the scope of AJFAND, so food, agriculture, nutrition, and development. We check also that the author name and institutional affiliation information is complete. The word count for the abstract, subtitles, that's introduction, materials and methods, results, they all need to be separate and clearly labeled. Referencing style should conform to AJFAND style. Tables and figures should be complete. Abbreviations, things like common spelling mistakes, writing styles, objective writing, first person versus third person. So these are some of the things we check. And on our website, we have information for authors. And they can go there and see what they need to do for their paper to conform to AJFAND standards. They have a checklist where they go and check and see whether they've accomplished a certain task. And so with that checklist, they are able to give us a paper that conforms, and it can go through the review process quickly. Papers that do not conform to the style and our guidelines are sent back to the author with comments and suggestions and recommendations on how they can improve. And at this stage, they can resubmit their paper so that it can go through the peer review after they've made those changes. The peer review process takes about 3 weeks. Actually, it takes 3 weeks. We give our reviewers 3 weeks to get back to us with a peer-reviewed paper. The paper is given to 2 to 3 reviewers, at least 2 full reviewers who are PhDs in a relevant field. The review also can be given to a third reviewer who is a junior reviewer. That's an MSc in a relevant field. And also that serves as a capacity building and training effort that the journal does. So 2 to 3 weeks, our reviewers are voluntary. They come back to us within those 3 weeks. Some of them come back sooner with peer-reviewed papers, and they'll have comments and recommendations on how an author can improve on their paper. A paper that is accepted goes straight to technical review, but a paper can be rejected at the peer review stage. Some of the reasons that a paper can be rejected is that let's say the research is not adequately described, methods are not credible or appropriate, inadequate presentation of figures and tables, the English is not sufficient. But I'd like to mention here that for our French-speaking authors, sometimes translation becomes hard, translating their research from French to English, and some of the research and some of the science is distorted and some things are lost in translation. So what we advise is that they send us 2 abstracts, one in English, well written in English, and one in French. And then the paper can be in French. We have French speakers, we have French reviewers who can review a research article that's written in French. So those are some of the reasons a paper can be rejected at that level. We encourage our reviewers to give detailed comments and recommendations that will help the author improve on their papers. So after that stage, the paper comes back with review comments and recommendations. We send it back to the author to work on those recommendations. At this stage, the author can challenge some of the reviewer comments if they don't agree, but they need to give us a detailed explanation of why they think that the reviewer was not correct, or if a reviewer misunderstood something in their research. Reviewers are human beings, and some it's a matter of opinion. And so our authors are allowed to challenge reviewer comments. So once the author has worked on the comments that they agree with, they send back the paper to the Secretariat. We check it against the author comments and recommendations to see whether they address the issues that were raised. And if we are satisfied that everything was addressed, the paper goes to technical review. The technical reviewer is a senior, experienced, widely read, and widely published professional in a related field, and there are people who have dedicated their time to check an already peer-reviewed manuscript in detail. Some of the things that they look for at technical review stage is clarity in writing, appropriate word choice, if the research makes sense, redundancies and inconsistencies. A paper can be rejected at this stage, and when it is rejected at this stage, the author is not allowed to submit. Just to take you back to the peer review stage, when a paper is rejected at the peer review stage, it's upon the author to request resubmission. And the reviewers will, when a paper has been rejected, reviewers are to provide constructive comments that will help the author improve on their paper, or in preparing a fresh paper. But it's totally up to the author. If they request to resubmit a fresh paper or a much improved paper, we will give it consideration. It will go back to the same reviewers to see whether it's been improved greatly. Okay, so let's go back to technical review. Once it's rejected at the technical review stage, we do not allow for resubmission. But most of the papers that come through this stage, the authors usually have cooperated, and they will make corrections according to the technical reviewer, and then the paper will go for editor-in-chief approval. So the editor-in-chief also goes through the paper in detail and gives her approval for publishing. And also, the paper can be rejected at this stage also. But once it's gone through editor-in-chief approval, the author is notified, and also they are given the final proof. The version that will actually be printed will be published. And they approve it, and they make their payment, and then the paper goes into a publishing pool. Each issue that we publish, we require 8 to 14 articles, peer-reviewed articles. And so sometimes there's a little bit of wait before we can get a full issue. We've experienced a lot of benefits of online publishing. Remember, we were doing print and online, but then in 2003 we moved completely online, and these are just some of the benefits we've experienced. And we have shorter production cycles, there is increased visibility and recognition as compared to print media, there's more efficient quality control through electronic peer review, greater versatility in the design of electronic files. There's an opportunity to build capacity in electronic publishing. There's better preservation of published scholarly works. And it's also easier to handle corrections with electronic versions compared to print versions. Also, we have things that we like about open access publishing. So with open access, we're able to present high quality African scientific research accessible freely globally, and also giving budding scientists visibility and recognition. And in this way, research becomes more collaborative, and also our authors and contributors have new research and career opportunities by publishing in open access. Open access enables African scientists to contribute to global scientific scholarship, and they do this by contributing unique African solutions to global scientific questions through original research conducted in Africa by Africans. Also, open access creates more research funding opportunities by major science funders like Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. They require their grantees to publish in open access. And also there's more use of research and greater citations by linking to other scholarly works if work is published in open access. There are also challenges associated with open access publishing. There's the threat of virus, hacking, predatory journals, counterfeit impact factor, and indexing companies. There are so many indexing companies and impact factor companies, but most of them are fake, and sometimes it's hard to distinguish, and they're very persistent with their emails and solicitation. Also, there's monitoring plagiarism in submitted work and the costs associated with that. Turnaround time. Some authors are impatient with the review process and they withdraw their paper, at some point. And our reviewers are voluntary, so we cannot rush the process. And also we are looking to put out quality research, not just quantity. Financing the journal, there are costs associated with maintaining a secretariat and keeping up a website. Also, researchers want to publish in high impact journals and subscription journals, and oftentimes they overlook regional journals, like African Journal of Food, Agriculture, Nutrition and Development. Also, the value of open access publishing has not been effectively communicated to African scientists. Some of them actually believe that the value of their research, that open access devalues their research, that if somebody is to pay through subscription journals, that their research is more valuable that way. But there is awareness that's being there's awareness that's being perpetuated here, and conversations with scientists and lecturers and professors, encouraging them to publish in open access, and also using success stories like Ima said at the beginning, Professor Mary Abukutsa Onyango, who got global recognition, her work is widely published now. If you Google her, her work in African indigenous vegetables is widely published, and it's because she publishes in open access. And also, the last point here, policies, procedures, and standards on open access are not as well developed, but there is some progress. There's a lot of conversation going on about open access, open science, open data, and so people are now starting to create enabling environments through policies and legal frameworks in institutions. A lot of these discussions, they target management in our local universities, professors, lecturers, and students, encouraging them and incentivizing open access publishing. All right, here I have highlighted some authors who benefited from publishing in AJFAND in our journal. We carry some of these stories and author comments, reader comments on our website. These are just some of them. We have Professor Peter Bile of Namibia. He's an internationally recognized scientist in the field of food and dairy science, and he received an award and a promotion from his University of Namibia, after publishing a series of articles in AJFAND, and I have a list here of the articles that he published with us. And then we have Professor Emmanuel Afwakwa of Ghana. He's a professor at the University of Ghana. He's globally recognized for his work in food science and technology. He is widely read and published, and he's a dedicated reviewer with several international journals and AJFAND. He's actually one of our technical reviewers and a great friend and supporter of our journal. We have Professor Maria Bukutsa Onyango. I'm sorry, this slide is kind of cutting out at the bottom there. But Professor Mary received global recognition for her work in African indigenous vegetables after previously being rejected by other international journals who didn't quite understand the value of indigenous vegetables in food securing Africa. AJFAND, we published her work in indigenous vegetables, and recently some of her work has been published in Nature, as Ima mentioned before. We have Professor Michael Lokuruka of Kenya. He's a prolific writer and he's also a reviewer for our journal. He received a promotion at Egerton University and Karatina University in Kenya, and he now works in Public Service Commission of Kenya. He's a prolific writer. I mean, he writes so many articles for us. And we have Marguerite from Rwanda. She's a research assistant at Rwanda Agriculture Board, and she published her first paper at 50, a year after receiving her master's degree. She's been working as a research assistant since 1998, and she hasn't published since. And now that her paper went through the peer review and technical review and passed, she's now setting her sights higher and looking to publish more work with our journal and other journals. And also, we have others, other students, graduates, and other authors that we carry their profiles on our website, and they're able to get employment, admission into graduate school. They are able to develop their writing skills, and they attribute some of these successes with their association with the journal. All right, we have indexing and impact factor information. AJFAND is quality assured by the University of Toronto through Bioline International since 2006. And right now we are under second review by Scopus and Thomson Reuters for coverage in Web of Science. We have other institutions that carry and disseminate AJFAND articles, and we have signed agreements with them. We have CABI London. CABI provides abstract archiving and full text publishing online of our articles. EBSCO Publishing, they disseminate AJFAND publications in both print and electronic formats. Chemical Abstract Societies, they provide indexing and abstract services. AJOL, African Journals Online, they provide access to AJFAND articles, and they're a great supporter in publishing. We have FAO, Sustainable Food Value Chain Development Knowledge Platform. They carry select AJFAND publications and also extract food composition data from select articles. We have African Union Library, University of Botswana, University of Zimbabwe Library. You can access AJFAND articles through their respective intranets. And Cornell University, Albert R. Mann Library, they replicate select AJFAND publications onto CD drives through the Essential Electronic Agricultural Library, TEEAL, for distribution to institutions for teaching purposes. And also, Directory of Open Access Journals, they index the AJFAND. These are some of the achievements that we've had so far. AJFAND has enjoyed 15 years of continuous publishing of agricultural, nutrition, and development research in Africa. We receive over 200 quality manuscripts every year from all over the world, and the journal publishes an average of 80 manuscripts a year, with issues coming out bi-monthly. AJFAND's roster of qualified, widely read, and widely published international reviewers is over 100, and we're constantly getting new requests to review for the journal. So our full reviewers are PhDs, and MSCs are our junior reviewers, and a paper is assigned to a full reviewer or a junior reviewer in a relevant field, and each article benefits from at least 2 full reviewers. AJFAND carries profiles of reviewers highlighting their academic and professional achievements, and a photo is included both for authors and profiled reviewers. So this is an incentive to our reviewers, and also it gives them that visibility and, as I like to call it, Googleability. So if you Google a certain author, at least you have a picture and you know who you're reading about or who carried out this kind of research. AJFAND also takes top talent interns from local universities for mentoring and also to gain work experience. As I conclude, I have here a poster that really echoes what AJFAND does or tries to do. The work of AJFAND is that we take research from Africa, put it in the cloud or the internet, and then it's able to be accessed globally by the whole world. And Africa also benefits from research that's read globally. There are other new research opportunities, derivatives that come out of people who have read, Africa, what's being done in Africa. And so this poster really echoes the work of AJFAND, is that, open access publishing or open access research, open science enhances learning, improves innovation, advances scientific discoveries, and increases collaboration. This poster was done at the Forum on Open Data and Open Science in Agriculture that was organized by FAO and Carl Rowe of Kenya. And it's a poster that we made to advocate for open access. I want to thank you very much, participants. Thank you for joining into the webinar, and thank you for giving me your time. We have contact information here for the journal. If you'd like to subscribe to our journal, we only send emails when we are announcing a publication of a new issue, so we will not flood your inbox with emails. But you can write to the editor-in-chief, Professor Ruth Onyango, or write to info@ajfand.net. So thank you very much, and I will hand over to Ima.